out there.
I hate to say it, it's a very classic PTSD symptoms right there, right? Like you forget those things, you're checked out, you're numb,
Yeah.
the rage,
Um,
for sure.
yeah, like we're living in our limbic system and we can't access the prefrontal cortex because
Yeah,
we don't understand what emotions are. Most of our society, we don't understand that an emotion is a physiological response. We have this idea that it happens in our brain. It doesn't, right?
yeah,
It happens in our central nervous system. That is our mind, right? And having an emotion, whether it be a pleasant one, happiness, contentment, joy, bliss, or an unpleasant one, right? Sorrow, grief, loneliness, they're nothing more than signals from our body telling us something.
right.
Exactly the same thing as pain, right? How do you know you sat on a tack? Your ass says ouch.
Yep,
And then it says, fix this. That's what happens, right? Your body's
right.
saying, hey, something's wrong, fix it. Well, grief in my instance, my case, right? Grief is my body saying something's wrong. We miss something desperately. We want you to fix it.
Okay,
And of course, I can't fix it,
yeah,
but that's all grief was. But I refused to feel an unpleasant emotion. I'd associate, like, because we soldiers, especially, like service members, especially, but even like, and male first responders and soldiers, service members, especially more so. But everyone in our culture really is the idea that we're not allowed to feel fear or sadness or grief or loneliness, right? You're not allowed.
yeah.
That's
It's
weakness, especially if you're a boy, right?
you definitely have that masculine culture where no, you don't cry, you don't show weakness, you're not cold, you're not tired, you're not hungry, you're just a soldier.
Right?
Go.
But the problem,
And
so
yeah,
we learn as children and then as soldiers, like if you express this thing that's happening in your body that you cannot help feeling, you must feel loneliness when you're lonely. You must feel cold when it's cold out. Like you must, right? But if you allow it to be shown, you are disapproved of by those around you, and you are socially shamed, which is the worst possible fear for humans, right? I'm
right.
ostracized, right? So we hide it and suppress it and repress it and deny it and shove that shit down. But it's a spring, man. At a
Yep.
certain point, that spring's gonna come back out. And that's where the rage explosions come from, right? That's where the road rage, dragging some poor bastard out of his truck window to murder him in his driveway because he cut me off, right? Like,
Right.
not a healthy response, not smart, but that's what all that was. And I got to the point where, um, well, let's move to the happy ending part. Okay, let's
Yeah.
leave that now and go to the part where things actually go really really good again.
Because you wrote a book
Uh,
about your experiences.
I did, yes.
Yeah.
The book was actually it's a 50 some thousand page love letter to my wife and my kid at the time, at two now.
Okay.
But in 2016, my older son was born, and I was completely insane and lost in pain and loneliness and grief. But at the same time, newly married to a wonderful woman that I'm deeply in love with. So I'm in love with this wonderful woman, but I'm mourning this wonderful woman. Now
Yep.
I'm cheating. Who am I cheating on? I don't even know, right? Like,
Right.
and I have this kid, like this baby, that I'm going to completely ruin. Like, I'm going to destroy that kid, like I got destroyed, like my father did, like his father did, like his father did, right? Like, I'm going to pass on the trauma. So my only solution, the clearly only solution, is to check out. Right?
Okay.
The problem is me, so remove the problem.
Right.
Um, I did go with option B because here I am.
Good.
Yeah, I agree. I
Yeah, no,
agree.
it's a good
Worked out
thing that you
well.
chose a secondary solution.
Yeah. In fact, I put down the implement of destruction and I picked up my cell phone and I called a therapist to whom I had been incredibly rude the week before, and uh, and I asked her for help.
Good.
I didn't know how to fix this problem, and then that began a several years journey into therapy, into learning what what my nervous system is and does, what emotions are, how to sit in them, how to process them, how to change the false narrative in my head telling me that I'm worthless and valueless into a more, realistic viewpoint. And all of it was just so that I wouldn't pass on trauma to my kid.
Right.
And then I got to a point where instead of being a monster in the jail, um, I started sitting with inmates, talking with them, just counseling like I would to young recruits or young soldiers, right? Or young
Right.
officers, junior officers in the corrections, or young troops in the barracks, right? Just sitting down, chatting with them, and talking about things I know. I was doing that with inmates, which was terrifying at first. But I went from being one of the most feared and despised jail guards in the province to unquestionably the most respected.
So you shifted the mindset. It's
I
not about
reversed,
control now. It's about how can I help you.
how can I help you? How can I show you you can be better? Like I used to do with young troops, right?
Right.
You can be better, troop. You can do better. So get on your face and pump out some more, right?
Yep.
You can do better. So focus, front sight, focus, like you can do better. I know you can, so you're going to, right? It was the same thing with the inmates. It's like you can do better. I know you can because I'm exactly like you. I'm a product of the same things you are, and I'm doing better. So you can too. So cowboy up, boy.
Right.
And yeah, so the first 5 years I was a monster. 2 years I was like transitioning. And then like
Yep.
3 years, it got to the point where, yeah, inmates were asking to have me come talk to them on the unit, right? A pig
Okay.
openly walking and talking, that would get you stabbed if it was anyone else, right? Be seen publicly talking with a guard. Like you're a
Right.
rat and you'd get stabbed up or at least beat up. But that wasn't the case with me at that point. I changed me so much.
Good.
Yeah, and what it was about deciding who I wanted my kid to be and then acting like that guy
Right.
until eventually I became that guy. And then at the same time, I was writing all these social media posts and emails and letters to individuals and stuff to destigmatize and to teach and train what I was learning in therapy. And I was writing emails to my kids for them to read when they're old enough because I wasn't sure I'd be around, right?
Right.
Option A was still on the table. And they all kind of flowed down the same stream. They were all synergistic. They were all teaching the same thing in different ways, different wording. And so my current wife, my wonderful and fierce law enforcement wife, bullied me into writing a book, putting it all into a book, and bullied me into putting it in and getting publication. And it's it's been financially disastrous, but it has 200. I thought, like I said, during the break, 200 people have contacted me and said something in the book helped them find whatever it was inside them that they needed to find to not kill themselves, to get
Right.
help, to get therapy, to work on their marriage or relationship, to not end their family, to not to stop using substances or so if there are over 2,000 books out there and I've helped 10%, I know I've helped 10% just by sharing my pain.
Right. And what's the book called? What's the name of the book?
The book is called Not Okay, question mark, okay, a roadmap back from the brink.
And where can people find your book?
The easiest is Amazon. If you don't like Amazon, it's on apparently it's on like a lot of internet book selling platforms. You can't get it through Chapters or Indigo, but you can through Barnes and Noble.
Okay.
A couple other big chains. I'm not even sure. I kind of just like
It's out there in the
vomited it
universe.
out, and then just like, okay, you guys. I actually had to run away from it for a while. This idea that of attention, of public attention, of people liking me was it was really hard for me to deal with. So I kind of like dissociated a bit from the book for a while. I started doing some public engagement speaking stuff and things like that, but that's exhausting, man.
Yeah.